You know what the date is? It's 17th. Anyway, we're live, and it's the dark side explanation of how to get started and what to look for. The first thing we need to do is to install all our indicators in the Ninja drop-down list. And you're going to start with somewhere you're going to get the indicator. In this case, you're going to get it from an FTP. And well, we won't do it that way. I'm going to just, cut and paste. The old famous cut and paste. Okay, this is the FTP. And we go to sorry for the delay. Oh, there it is. Okay. We go to indicators. And there's documentation for all the indicators too, but we're in, as you can see. So you go to indicators, and we're going to load the new DarkSide Multi 1.2. Push on the little folder. It comes down to here. You need to move it to some place that you can easily retrieve it or know where you put it. The desktop a lot of people use. I put a folder inside my desktop. Just drag it over there. Close this because we don't need it anymore. And the indicator is in here, 1.2. And now we need to install it into Ninja. You go File, Utilities, Import Ninja Script. It's on the desktop. It's in Matt's indicators. There, you pick the one you want. DarkSide Multi 1.2. Double click. You'll see it come up under File Name. Open. File already exists. You're gonna the way Matt does it. He doesn't change volume numbers, so you write over it. Although he will in the future. And then you have the sign that says Ninja successfully imported indicator and strategies contained in the Ninja script archive file. That's what we just did. I've installed all the other indicators. So the next thing, we're going to build a chart. And we're going to use oil because that's what a lot of people trade. So you go to new. Well, I guess, are there any questions before I continue on how to download and get the Ninja indicators in the Ninja download position?
So Bob, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so this will overwrite anything we have in there already then?
If it's titled the same thing, it will. Okay, and like I said, Matt does not put volumes in the future. We're going to, on if there is a volume 1.3, he is going to put that in. All right.
Yes.
And for in this case, if you haven't already loaded it, put yes, or to overwrite the old one. All right, Randy.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, anybody or Randy?
I assume we download all the indicators off of that list.
No. The only indicator that you need to download off the list for DarkSide, no, I don't even know. I don't know what's on the list. I'll tell you what, I'll send an email out on that. As
Okay.
to what indicators. It's the dark side. It's the MACD-BB, the PRC for the rate. That's for the minute chart. For the range chart, it's the PRC6, and there's a divergence indicator for both charts. And I think that's it.
Okay. I think I have probably most of them then.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, Matt hasn't cleaned out what we're not using. There's a lot of the older ones are in there. So, and you'll get to see as we're going on and building the indicators and charts.
Okay.
So, yeah, so you'll be able to take a screenshot. I think they have a screenshot app thing here. I don't know.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah. So let's build the first chart, and the first chart is oil. And we'll build a chart, and I do things a little different than Tony. And for this, I'm only going to put in 5 days, but you don't need many more than that. I put 24/7 on all my charts. The only time that really matters is a little bit on your support and resistance charts on Monday. And I quite honestly haven't found it has made a difference. And that way, when I do market replay, I don't have to change it to 24/7 or on the weekends to do market replay. You could add the template here, or you could say OK. And you're going to get a chart that looks like this. And then we're going to go to templates. Don't panic. I've got a lot of templates. And I got to find the one. What you're looking to do is Praveen downloaded all the IT templates for you. You want to copy those and call them something else, so you always have clean template to go back to. Of course, I have to find out what I. And you also have to remember what you call them. Here they are, IT. See, it's intentional trader. It's the oil only, and back to August. And the reason why you want to do it that way is so that you will have all the indicators with the right settings on them. And of course, obviously, this is where I was telling you I was using black and white. I should have rehearsed. Anyway, we will change the colors. Well, before we change the colors, we're here. So you open up, and you have this is all of Tony's indicators, and you take out the ones you don't use. You can leave them all in. It won't affect anything that you're trading on the dark side, but I do take some out. Well, maybe I already took them out. No, pullback alert, pocket dot. I don't use them. I haven't found the core a use for them yet. And I take out the color that may because we okay. And then now you can add. Well, first all right, you can add, but the first one you have to change Tony's CCI, Obos to CCI. It's already there, but if you're on yours, it's going to say RSI. When you change it to CCI, I happen to use gold and yellow for colors. Again, color's your choice. And I changed it to a period of 13. I think the default period in Tony's was 14. And this 13, the way to remember it, it's Tony's choice of EMA. Matt, I don't memorize what Tony's settings are for each one. So I just figured this was the easiest way for all the settings for the speed tick and whatever is changed to stay changed. The other thing I do change, which is personal, I changed the rolling pivots to 15 minutes and Tony's default is 30. Now so I've changed the Obos, I've changed my rolling pivots. If you want to see what you like better, you can install rolling pivots twice and add in a different color and add 15 minutes and see which one you like. I had both on for a long time. And then you go back to, now you want to find Dark Side Multi. Push New. It's important to push New or it doesn't happen. And now let's talk about the Dark Side Multi. Any questions so far? Okay. As we'll just go from the top to the bottom. And this is if you want voice alerts on the EMA crossover. And they are found, well, you can make your own. This is one I've made for me. And all it says is CL EMA. And it just tells me that the oil EMA has crossed when you get to at the point where you get the little arrows. There is actually a little time delay. You like it to be instantaneous, but there is a little time delay. It's not exactly when but it's within the bar. This is anybody interested in sound alerts? Because, or if they don't know where they are, I can tell you where they are, or I can tell you where they are anyway, in case somebody in the future is, I guess. Sound alerts is found, let me get the computer, Drive C. Okay, you're in Drive C, you go to Programs, under Programs, you come down to Ninja 7, and here is where you have sounds. Got lots of sound alerts. When I trade the 6E, it's the title, and it happened to be, say, 6E EMA. I don't even know what these alerts 1, 2, or 3 are. But you could hear them, and if you want to use that as your alert, you can. And you can add as many alerts as you want. As you can see, I've got a lot. You know, TF, CL, and all that. And you just drag the WAV file over to here, and you're all set to go. And the only criteria is you have to exactly match how you call it in the alert file. Okay, great. Okay, the WMA period is 25. That's the weighted moving average. That's the one that's a crimson and blue line. The fast EMA is 8. You all know these things. The slow is 13. This is to show the arrows at the cross, yes or no, true or false. So I elect true. Background opacity, actually we haven't talked about it. What this does is, I don't like it, so I haven't talked about it, but see, 20%, 30% so you can see it. I have to close it out to do it. But what it does is when the EMA changes, all right, close. When the EMA changes, the background color matches the distance between them. And the color changes at the arrow or two. Let's see if we get something more dramatic. Well, you can make it more dramatic if you want to see. Can you see? Yeah, you can see the color differentiation. You just have to make it a darker opacity. Just chime in with questions whenever you have them. And I'm going to take this out because I do not use those. Okay, the slope of the EMA color is 0 right now, and probably will remain 0 for a while. What you can do later, if you ever want to make the study, I say that you want the color of the slope to be in the direction of the trade before you enter it. This would be an indicator as to, it would change the color of the slope when it hit a certain angle. I have not done any studies on that, and quite candidly, nor do I plan to do any studies. The visual that it's going in the direction versus flat or just a little bit, I think I can discern. And depending on the velocity of the market, the change is going to happen before you can react to it anyway. I think your eye is quicker than and that's what that is for, though. All right, this is new since the other one, the previous one. We had one angle to choose. We've got 2 additional angles. I started with 35 when I first started this journey on finding short-term trend trades, one trading with the trend. And that has about 70, this is qualitative numbers, call it about a 70% accuracy. And I'm 45, I then switched to 45, and I figured that has about an 80% accuracy. And Ron did some work, and he found 50 was a 90+% accuracy, and 60 was on the candle is even a higher percent probability of having a successful trade in concert or confluence with the range chart. We'll talk about the range chart later. So if you don't want to use these, and I suggest in the well, you can do whatever you want. If you're beginning, I suggest that you only pay attention to the 51, the 50 angle. And the reason being, what you want to build is consistency in your trading and confidence that you can have a winning trade. You can put the other 2 or change the angles to your heart's content on and have different colors for them if you know not to trade on them and just watch. And if you do that, then you would change it to change the color to yellow. And I'm using yellow as the default color as to don't take trades on. So caution. I'm reading notes. Now I know why Tony doesn't read notes. Changes your trend of thought. And you would change the ones that you don't want to see to yellow or whatever your non-action color is. And when we look at doing the chart, we can bring some other things in. Anybody have any questions? so far? All right. This is the auto scale is true. We had some discussion earlier that you may want it to be false when the 120 gets above a certain point. It changes the perspective of the trend of the trading, the instrument. And there's another way around it. You can put your mouse key and stretch it out, and then that little floating F comes in play. And then lift your finger, that's the left mouse key, and then lift your finger, and push control, and then back on the left key, and you can move your chart up and down. Depends on how you want to do it, but it does give you an alternative. And then you push the F, I call it the float button back, and then you've got your chart back to where it is or was. Let your choice displacement 0, display in the data box true.
Target filled.
Oh, okay. This just has the title of the chart. This is why it says chart 1. I made some trading charts, and so it's what was there last. Panel same as input series. I don't like price markers other than for price, so I have false. My up color for the 60-degree candle is blue. My down color is indigo. And if it's non-obos, there'll be white around it. If it happens to be an obos candle, which it usually is when they're 60, but not always, it would be the yellow and gold. I use the color blue and white for the 120 in a dash, and that's down below. And this, your EMA slope colors. I have green for the 50. I've got white for the 45 for both up and down. So I know it's 45, and I try not to think when I trade. And then the low color is cyan, and the low color is purple. And as you'll see when we go to my charts, this is just a little darker than the color of the 35. This 35 EMA is just a little darker in color than the background color, as is the purple. So I know it's 35, so it's not yellow. But it gives me a direction of trend in momentum by having the white in the middle, and the white always helps me keep it centered. I don't have to remember as much. This is just the size of the plots. These expand. I happen to like 4 for the plots. I do not plot the 13 EMA. I'm happy just with the color against the background. I don't put a line. I try to get less lines. Again, I don't show the EMA 8 at all, so it's transparent. And my WMA we talked about before when we talked about the 25. It's lime, crimson. And the yellow doesn't show because we don't have any change in the 0. So do we have any questions on that indicator? Am I going too slow, too fast? Okay, good. Well, John, you get a good star for saying perfect and a demerit for lying. All right, so, and we apply that, so seeing that it's already applied, I'm just going to push close to save some time. We are going back to a color that we are all familiar with. We're going back to down as red. And up as highlight spring. And days are 5, 7. Place marker. I like it. Into white. Because the background's going to be black pretty soon. Change the color of the axis. White. And I use full-size charts, and I make the space 120 so that the writing, the angles, and the minute things on the right-hand side do not come in contact with the candles, so I can read them no matter where the candles are. I don't use Chart Trader, so that's false. You use the scroll bar, and I use the toolbar. So that's it. That's, if you've seen my charts before, that's sort of what they look like. There's so many FTs that were, oh, you know what we didn't take out? That's why that's there. This is the bands for the for the volume. I mean, you know, for the crossovers. And if you don't know it, if you double click on the space where the thing is, it's the same as doing the up and down bar. If you click on colors, it's alphabetical. So it's a long click. It happens to be easier to do the scroll thing. And now I'll have black. A lot of FT lines. All right, so that's my minute bar chart. All right. Just want to talk a little bit, and we'll talk some more, because this is the 8 EMA. The green is 50 degrees. The blue means it hits 60. The angle hits 60, and it goes over, and then there's a little yellow where it's flat, and then it's white. So we're picking up. So it gives me a heads up that we're increasing our momentum. You'd be also looking at the range chart to tell you that too. You have green, and you could hop in right there to get 5. You see the yellow? You don't. I wouldn't necessarily get in because the yellow is there. You know. Talk about trade strategy maybe a little later. But then back to green, and all these are 60s. Well, you have to be careful here. It's nice to hop in, but these are so close, and they're all speed ticks. You need larger stops. I guess my philosophy on this is you'd have taken this one or this one. You got one trade there. You've gotten this one probably too, because it's real close to you want them as close to the EMA as possible. You notice I skipped that one. It's a little further out. This one's coming back. You got that one, and this was right on the EMA. You get that, and you get that. Once you get that, don't be voracious in your appetite to capture all that you can, because when these speed ticks start happening, they're so fast that you really need probably larger than a 12 stop to get them. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that, John. Type in the car name. So when you start getting a bunch of speed ticks, be careful, because you've gotten 15 or 20 ticks on the way up anyway. So, I mean, that's my philosophy. It doesn't mean you have to do it. It's just food for thought. Let's build a minute chart. I mean, a range chart. New chart. Oil. Change the range. Comes at 4, comes with the colors we know. I differentiate my range chart by having a gray background. I don't know. I just think that it's too much black, I guess, by now. Now we'll build the range chart from scratch. This, Dick, when between this will tell you what other, actually this will contain all the other indicators that you need for the downside. So, what's this happening? I guess it doesn't. Anyway, just take notes. Doesn't look like the bars are equal distant. So just give me a second here. Right there. Yeah, it is. You want to set your bars to equidistance. Just make sure you got both minute and range bars. You want equidistant spacing between bars. Otherwise, you get a really funky look. I mean, look at all this stuff to read. So, one equidistant. Easier to read. All right. So we start adding indicators. Remember, you have to load all your indicators first. And
order held.
Here's the dark side somewhere in here. Can't read. There it is, dark side multi. All right, on the dark side multi, we're going to change the angle a little bit. And I'm going to take the sound label off on it there. And we're going to have the medium was sorry. Ron did some work and he said the 37 approximated the same slope color change as the minute chart. We haven't done a lot of testing. It's just an indication. I'm using the range chart primarily for confirmation of the minute chart. 37 seems to be working pretty well, not 500, not 5,037. And I added for the next threshold 42 to make it a higher color. But and for the low, and you don't want it to activate, you either color low yellow if you let's see, low threshold. So you would change that. I got it. I just change them both to 90 so they don't, or they won't activate. Of course, they're doing great. New indicator, guys. I'm learning too. And then I changed the degree on the bar color. That's to 90 also, because I don't want the bars to paint. I want to be able to keep the bars in red and green so I can see it, because on the minute chart as well as on the range chart, but on the minute chart, if the degree is over 60 degrees, and it's in an up direction, the candle could actually be going down. Because the slope is more than good trade, whoever made the target. So this lets you see which direction the candle is really going, because this is our look seeing what's happening inside the minute candle. That anomaly that the candle could actually be going down while the candle says it's going up, really hasn't caused any problems if you're using it in concert with the range chart, and you can see that it's going up if you're studying the chart. I would say there's a difference in approach to this type of trading versus an intentional trader. Is he's looking for specific moments in time, and he says he likes he's at the bus stop. We're driving the bus. I'm not anticipating anything, but I'm looking for any traffic incident to occur that I need to respond to. And so I'm driving the bus, and I think probably going to only be watching one or possibly two instruments at a time. Personally, I watch oil. I do have gold up, so if I get a period where we got chop, I hop up and see what's on gold. You're not going to have 8 screens up with this one. And I have not vetted. I've only worked with Russell, oil, and gold. I don't use YM or NQ because they're only $5, and you need to make 2 ticks for a break even. Plus 1 to make a break even plus 1 because they're only $5 things. And the DAX and the NQ, although I know a lot of people like it, I find it sporadic, and I've never been able to read the DAX better than 70%. I have never tried it with this system, but best with Tony, I was 70%, where I'm much higher with the 3 that we're using here. And I think these 3 trend the best and go up and down the best. So you have more trends and more opportunities to trade. So let's see, we've changed that. We should see, okay, we should be okay. And that's about the only things you need to change. You want the angle, the 2 angles. And if you don't want the second angle, you don't need it. And this is just for the slope. You do want to change the 90 though on the bar, so it keeps it the same color. So that's apply. Okay. Now we can wait. Well, wait. Tell you what, I want to apply that first, just so we have it. Hopefully, it'll keep things going faster. I find sometimes when you got 5 or 6 things going all at once, it's slower than if you do it. And this is what the range chart will look like, but we have to put a few more things. I'm driving at 90 miles an hour. I wish. I figure, oh, yeah. See, I'm a newbie here too. I figured out what I had to do. All right. Urgence. Need to put Tony's obos on. I put, it should be default. Yeah, it's default yellow. The flash I put on. Tony's support and resistant lines are work very well. And speed tick doesn't work on a 4 range chart, and nor does the ricochet work very well. I don't need my zone thing on. Let's see, the PRC on. PRC6 is a polynomial regression. And divergence input series is the other thing I want. I think that will hit the chart. Divergence input series is a volume divergence. And the tricky thing about this is you've got to change two things. You've got to make your price data equal to what your chart is. And so this is a 4. And over here we got a range. 4 range chart. These are both 1. And then down here there's no box, but if you push your left mouse click, a little box appears. Push it again, sometimes twice. Sometimes it's stubborn. I'm not pushing. There it is. Then you come up and this input series comes in. You want indicators. I have a lot of indicators too, guys. And then volume. Push OK. And the volume will appear here. And we didn't put this on the minute chart. I actually put them on both. Oh, and the MACD. Gee, how can I forget the MACD? And the MACD is an ANA, MACD BBs. And it was all set. And that's it. We push OK. Everybody good so far? Art, would you tell me if it was bad? Oh. Anyway, good luck. Based upon what I know of you, Art, you would never say an unkind word to anybody, unlike me. All right. We'll talk about the range chart first. PRC is the dark blue lines here and this faint center line. And as you can see why I like the PRC, because it has a tendency to oscillate between the blue lines. Doesn't mean that it's not going to hug the center line. It doesn't mean it's not going to go past the blue lines. It doesn't mean it's not going to go along this line for an extended period of time, or this one. And we'll talk about it a little bit. And what I have the MACD for, I'm looking for the lines here are one standard deviation above and below. And when they're outside the standard deviation, the first time since the last time, you get a green arrow. And that just gives me an idea that there is additional impetus to move in that direction, or in a sell situation to sell. Just give me an impetus. On the actual chart, I'm not looking on the range chart. I'm not looking to see any of this other stuff. Because it's happened so fast, I don't think for me, it does not add anything. So I just squish it all the way down. So, because I just want the arrows. That's all I'm looking for on this chart. And then, I don't want to close out. And then I bring it up like this. Up here. And I probably keep it about that wide. And that's what my trading chart looks like. That's what my trading chart looks like. My domes are kept on a separate computer, on a separate screen, because when you get a lot of action like this, Ninja isn't able to keep up with it, and it slows down the domes on your buy and sell. even though it's supposedly it's a different line feed, it still like I guess does the data. So I use a different computer for my domes. So what you're looking for, well, let me, so we're complete. What we want? ANA, MACD-DBs. You're lucky you don't have as many things to choose from. Now we are set for the minute, and you got to look up the volume indicator. Okay. What you'll notice on both the minute chart and on the thing, you'll get a little statement here in checking with volume and divergence that tells you that it's okay, it's over here. Frequently in the morning, you'll wake up and you'll see a bunch of arrows along the top or on the bottom after you open it up. And it just means that the divergence isn't, you have to go back in and look up, find the volume and redo it. This indicator does not hold the volume all the time. So that's what you need to do when it's all at the top or all at the bottom. And you have arrows horizontally lined up. And if you choose the wrong time frame, there'll be a message here that says that you need to check the same range. I don't know the statement, but basically says you're using a minute chart when you have it on a range chart. Any questions so far? Okay, so we built the charts. Let's talk about trades. Well, right now, let's look at, for me, the most important aspect or the indicator on the chart is the angle of the EMA 8 is the first important. And this, in the range chart in total is the second. And you can see with, just to show you, I mean, the yellow, it's going from yellow to white to red, and this was just purple. But you see this going down, and probably should have it. There it is. It's purple. You have this going down. I would have hopped in here because I had the 60. I would have hopped in here because I had the 60 in excess of 50 degrees. It's going down on the range chart. I don't know how far below it it's going, but it's going. So you hopped on here. I'm not going to hop in. I've gotten my 5 ticks. Possibly, depending on where I hopped in here, possibly another 5 ticks. But just to start out, just take it at the beginning. And if you had these 5 ticks, great. And you see this turn purple, you'd have gotten 5 ticks there. And just relax, because you're relaxing for 2 reasons. Number one, we're pushing past the line. And my experience tells me, this could go on another 10 ticks or 15 ticks. But my experience says the probability of this coming around and going up the other way is higher than my probability of going down. And I'm also looking at support and resistance. You've got some FT lines here that are saying we may or may not do it. Now we see it going green, and which is coming back, and it went down. See, you don't know. But the idea is there are so many trades you don't have to get every one. You already have gotten your 10 ticks. As you get a feel for what's happening, you may have said, oh, I can see this is going. Or you may not. You still have the ticks there. We'll look at the rest of the chart later. But what you want to do is have a lot of screen time. Well, Tony, look at what your indicator says, because this was unless I read it wrong, this was changing pretty close to when it was changing, not at the close of the bar. And so your indicator may say, all my indicators are, how to phrase it, calculating bar close is false in every indicator of mine. See if that makes a difference. What I was going to say before this took off, I usually wait for it to pass through the band, the hop one again, and this going down. Now, you see it's changed. The PRC6 has changed, and now it's saying, okay, I can ride down here. Before, when it was over here, it was more of a barrier. Now it's bending with it. Now, I still think it's going to come up, and I'm still not entering the trade on a down version. We got 2 seconds to go here. I'm going to, and if that goes green, I would hop in, and I'll tell you why. I've done a reasonably extensive study that if this goes green, I wait for the second bar, and not necessarily on the first bar, because see, this is green, and it's still showing going south. So that's why it's important to keep this bar clean. But if I get another bar coming up, I have found that after the 60-degree bars, you'll have an easy relative term, high probability, let's put it that way, a chance of getting a 5-tick or greater trade in the opposite direction. Let's see what happens. Now, if that turns green, now you see this angle going over. Still wait. Oh, I got a flash. That's even better. But it hasn't turned green yet. It'd be nice not to have Tony syndrome at a seminar. After the seminar, you make the wrong calls. There's 2 things I don't do. I don't do trade rooms, and I don't trade other people's money because the pressure of being right is too high. Well, yeah, we all know that it's okay to lose every now and then. The shaded zone is on Tony's indicator. It's all Tony's indicator on the IT lines. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Wait a minute. I want to see what happens to this trade. See, MACD's coming around, going up. Doesn't mean it's not going to shoot down. The support line's held. We're seeing a little battle. This is going to cross this angle. Now we're down to less than 37 degrees. That's all a good indication that things are going the other way. This angle has now decreased to 45 degrees. You have another flash. You're talking about the EMA 8 line. Oh, to go reverse? Oh, I got it. Yeah, for the reversal. Yeah, that's the safety way of doing it. As you can see why it's a safety way, because I haven't entered the trade yet though. But yeah, it would. Yellow would be the safest way. So yes. It's taking
Hello.
more time than I thought. Hello. All right. It looks like it's going the other way. And it just. Well, we're not in the trade, so I wasn't wrong. We're just watching. Anyway, let's talk about other trades. Unless you guys want to see what's going to happen. I don't care. Let's. Here's the criteria. Do you have any questions? No. Here's the criteria for entering a trade.
Order filled.
Hey, Ron, stop making money on my time.
I'm trying to knock off a couple hundred here, right quick.
Yeah, all right. But put your mic on mute so other people don't hear it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The WMA 25, you don't take a trade when it's flat. You're looking for at least an angle in its direction. This indicator here, the blue one, the blue is connected with the EMA crossover. The green is connected with the WMA, with the MACD BB. This tells you that it's crossed by indicator. I like to wait to see at least a little color in between the 8 and the 13. And I wouldn't have gotten in here anyway because the WMA 25 is just still flat. It's just starting to curve. You want to see a little bit. But now it's up here a little bit further. You got color. You'd have gotten in there. And it's right next to the EMA 8. So when you're just beginning, just take the ones next to the EMA 8 or in between the 8 and the 13, going in the direction you want. You sit through all this, you've got a 50-degree angle or better. You're going to get in there. If it turns blue, you're already in it. And take that for 5 ticks. Wait for it to come back. Don't try to get in there. If you just the real way to do it. And then you sit through this. This is white. It's not Obos. The fact that it's 60 degrees, you know it's going up. You can or cannot get in. That depends on your thing. This is Obos. I mean, I said this was okay because it's between 8 and 13. It's actually a little bit less, but you got volume divergence here. This is what these yellow arrows are. So it's another impetus that people are buying into this market. Even though the price is going down, this is saying people are buying. This is where your HFTs are starting to buy as people are selling. It goes up. So you gotten one here. You skip. In the beginning, skip the next two, because what you want to be, and it's easy to see after the fact, it's difficult to see. If you're more than a half a space again away from the EMA 8, don't do it. And you can see here, and the EMA is down here at this point. But if you extrapolate the line that way, you're going to see it's going to go away. So, I want to array it. Oh, you're going to see that real well. Still not going to see it. All right, you see I do a lot of these presentation guys, right? All right, so now we have it. So, I mean, that's about where the green line is going to be. If you project up, you can see if it continues to go up, it's going to be more than 2 candlesticks away. So you wait. Take it in the beginning. Take them just when they're on the EMA or just off. I mean, that's not on it, but it's close enough. Then when you start getting into a lot of speed ticks, well, these aren't on it, so don't get in it. And then I can be really happy with knowing that you'll get many trades. This is right there. Get in it. For the time being, skip all these. Skip all these. It doesn't matter. Just get practice. And because what you'll be seeing is the correlation with the range chart that will help you get into this one. You'd have gotten two. It changed here. You may or may not see the color, the green. I would say it's okay because you got the volume divergence. I mean, the momentum popping out right here. Even though you may not see a lot of green, you know that it's going, the angle is going in the color, and the angle is 50 degrees or better. I didn't mention that. It's 50 degrees or better on the angle to get in. With that, you could have hopped in there. You got that one, so you'd have had this one, and you'd have had this one because it's on the EMA 8. Don't worry about the rest. I mean, take it in baby steps. Even though this isn't, you have color, you have the green, you've got the crossover, you're just starting to see the green. The green is sharp. I mean, at this point, it's even sharp going up. Even though this isn't Obos, but at 60 degree, it's still good. The divergent input series is more precise on the range bar, I find, than the minute bar. What it does give you, it's not a trigger. I don't use it as a trigger, but it's a big influence. If everything else is coming together, it's good. The other thing I've noticed is that when it's with the 120 EMA, which is this dash dot line, when it's with the 120 EMA, there's usually a further rise than when it goes against the EMA. Of course, that's, but we're only going for 5 ticks, so it's not really an issue. But that's my advice. Here, you've changed the green. You've got this going up. You've got this thing. You got 60 degrees. You just have a little space. You're fine there with a little space. You got to define your own little space. You've got that. This is a little bit more. It's too much. But this one's right on the EMA 8. That's the trade you take. That's the trade you take. You're going to find when it starts to get, I mean, I know the EMA is only going to be here, but you're going to see it as the gap increases. You can see that it's going to go. You start to get a feel for it, and you stay away from those. Wait for it to come down, or go back up. Here's another one right here. You've got the color. You got a little color. This is coming off the. This is just the thing. Yeah, you may, because this is 60 degrees. I would take that. If you don't want to do it because it's not OS, it's fine. There is no. Well, I guess there is right and wrong, but it depends on your risk tolerance. If you don't want any risk tolerance, make sure it's Obos and 60 degrees. I can tell you 60 degrees with a 50-degree slope, go. Really high probability of the time. The problem is near the end of a run, the little ones don't count. They're not so bad. I mean, let's look at one down. I mean, this is not a crossover. It's a continuation of the continuation, but it's like a crossover. It got horizontal here, and now we're coming out again. So now you have the color. You've already see this going down. So you got in this one. This is only a little bit away. They got in this one. Now we're getting too far away in the beginning. Don't wait. Comes back. Get this one. So you got 15 ticks. in about 10 minutes. Okay, and then you'd have gotten this one because this met all the criteria. It's more than 50 degrees, had the divergence, and it's actually 60. So, and it may not have started at 60, but it met the criteria of 50. It became 60. And then when you get a little better or with practice and you see this coming here, I am telling you that a high percentage of the trades, you get it confirmed that you'll be able to take the 5 tick on this going back. Have any questions? Oh, yeah, Randy, I am missing the CCI. See? I should have scripted this. I use the adaptive CCI, which is the color version and it is on the drop-down list. And this CCI here is the exact same CCI. Oh no, I think this is Matt's. I think this is yeah, this is Matt's. So use the CCI back color multi. I think this one's Matt's. Let's see. Let's find out. I don't know where that came from. Is that what's? I'll find out. I'll tell you what. Let me put the one on I know. May have gotten derived at it because I asked him because the one I have it was to put on most people, and I asked him to make a zip file of it. Mine, who people came with did what I'm doing early. It wasn't a zip file. It was a pain to put on. And of course, I did the classic, which I do every time. You think after 1,000 times putting this one, I would know what to do. On the CCI, it's on the same channel, the same input series, and you put overlay versus left or right. Yeah, there it goes. Oh, of course, I lost everything. Great. Well, don't have me build your charts. All right. All right. When you the CCI is really a great indicator. I look at it as a continuous dot. All right. As a continuous dot indicator, the dots are so close together, it forms a line. And I'm always looking to the right of the plot of the line. And at that point in time, I consider the market, if it's going up, it's in a positive direction. If it's coming down, it's in a negative direction. And even though it's coming down, you know, you got to look where this crosses. I mean, right there, from when it goes from white to cyan, from there on, I look at it, the market's in a positive biased. Even though it comes down, you know, 25 or 30 points, I'm still looking at it as a positive bias to this point. And it starts, as you can see, it goes down a few more ticks. It starts to chop, range. It's not going down as steep. And then when it goes past 100, usually have a little more certainty that it's going up. But you notice it's riding down this line, in between. This is still the PRC 6, so you can see how it rides down. I'm still anticipating that it's going to come back, even in this little tight range. It like goes over and comes back. Doesn't mean it's going to, though. Are we at the end? Oh. No, I didn't think so. Like, oh yeah, I guess we are at the end of the day. What time is that? It's going quick. All right. I was hoping we could see what was happening. Yeah, and that's I look at that. That helps a lot to see direction. I look at it so much I forgot to put it on the chart. No, it's a really good indicator. Excuse me. The I used to have it on the minute chart, but I get the information I want by just looking over here. I'm trying to make the chart as unbusy as possible, believe it or not. So we looked at the standard trades, the standard crossover trade, and the continuation trade. Just to review real quick, you want the EMA 25 to be in the direction that you want. You want to see color between the 8 and 13 EMA, and you want the angle to be 50, as demonstrated on the EMA 8, to be 50 degrees or more, which is 60, which is a candle. In the beginning, please just take the ones that are between the 8 and 13 EMA or slightly off it. When there's a gap that looks like it, even though this is down here, it's not on the candle. When these are live, they're a lot closer. So when they're really close to the, I'd love to give you a thick number, but I haven't been able to figure out a good way to do the study. You just want to take it as close as you, when this is really close, say less than 5 ticks, 4 ticks, say 4 ticks. And you'll get a feel for what's close. And as this is coming down, you're going to see that this is starting to go away. I think that's been the biggest issue with people catching trades is you're trying to get too many trades. Just take the first two of this crossover are usually the two surest once they meet the criteria. You know, again, I mean, this is up, this is consolidation, this is like the first two. And in this one, you know, I mean, your EMA 8 line is going to be right underneath that candle. Other things that if you're in, and if that's all you do, you'll get lots of trades. Okay, lots of trades and lots of things. If you want to look at a couple other things while you're doing it, there's my little cheat sheet. Right, cool. I've talked about them before. Of course, the first one I show you is no. The reverse candle after this is 8 ticks. The reverse candle after the 60-degree candle, the first reverse one, as validated by the range bar chart, you have a high probability of getting 5 ticks, and and if it's 45 degrees or less, usually go. If it's 60 degrees, if it's 50 or 60 degrees, I would at this point be leery in taking them. Depends on whether you saw the yellow or not. And I would, even a flash, if this is 50 or 60 degrees, the probability of getting the flash, some will make it, most won't. You still have at least 5 ticks from the open of the EMA 8 for a flash. And I don't take them if they're in the, you have the angle indicator down here. If they're in the 60-degree range, I don't take them. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but they're not highly probable. That's probably enough. I'll confuse you if we can have a part two. Are there any questions? Was it clear enough?
Yeah, Bob,
Yes,
you hear me? Yeah, just for
I
clarification,
had.
can you hear me?
I do.
Okay.
I don't.
For clarification, the FTP, the new one that we just downloaded. So these index of indicators, the list that we have, so the dark side multi actually has a number of these indicators within that.
Yeah,
Right?
it replaces 4 indicators. It replaces the double MA, the WMA, and the EMA, and the MA slope multi, which you install twice, once for the candle at 60 degrees and once for the slope. And an email was sent to everybody describing that,
Okay.
what it replaced.
And exactly, this might be a silly question, but what's the chart templates that's listed?
Oh, wait, can you speak a little louder?
Yeah, the chart templates.
Right?
Not sure what we do with these.
I don't supply templates. I refuse to do that. So any templates you
No,
got are from other
no,
people.
it says chart templates on that file. It says fix CL, fix GC, fix TF. I didn't know
There's somebody else's.
exactly what. Okay.
Yeah, if you were on the call yesterday, you would know that somebody asked me to make templates for him, and I went off. It's a pet point. It's a pet peeve. So no, if you guys can't make your own templates, I'm not interested in being your assistant.
Yeah, I saw it listed here in the index, but I didn't know what they were.
I don't either. It's probably something
Yeah,
that.
Bob, Matt made those templates and he put it in there to help out at one stage.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm nobody's assistant here. If you want to pay me $500 an hour, I'll be more than happy to be your assistant. Pet peeve.
Bob,
Yeah.
I have a question on what months do you trade the CL? Is it each month you change, or do you go quarterly?
No, I don't. No, I trade it all year round. I trade the Russell. I haven't traded the Russell in the last few months, to be honest. To be candid with you, it's on my chart. I rarely look at it. Gold and oil have been so damn busy. I'm sorry, darn busy, that most of my trades are on oil of late. Actually, although I did have a lot of gold trades today.
But okay, on the oil, what month are you currently trading?
March.
And then will you flip over to April then the next month?
Well, I have a little chart, and you can make it. It's a matrix, whatever they. I don't. I just do things. I don't know what people call. I guess it's a market analyzer. I use a market analyzer. I put the instruments in there, and I can't show you because it's on one of my other computers. But I list the instrument, I list the daily volume, and I list the last price. Right now, the March contract for April, today's had 479,000 contracts, and for April, March had 479. April had 260,000 today. Gold had 171, and TF 62,000. So when the contracts played on the April exceed the March is when I change.
Okay.
Because it's the action.
Understand. I understand totally.
Okay.
Now, where is this matrix that shows that?
Well, you have to make your own. You go to.
Okay.
File,
Okay. Understand.
Market analyzer, and then add the.
I can do that. Yep.
Good.
Thank you.
You bet. Any others? Is there anything you would like
Hey, Bob,
Me to do different? Yep. Go ahead.
would you suggest I have the templates I already have with all the indicators on it. Should I just clean up what I have, or do you think I should start from new?
Well, if you have Tony's indicators and a clean template of his, I would copy it and change the name and just add. The ads on these are pretty straightforward.
Okay.
And you're only doing one or two contracts. I mean, instruments. It's not like we're doing all 8. I
Yeah.
hope nobody's doing all 8. You're only doing one or two.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what you do. If you want to do from what you've got, delete what you have first, what you're not using, like the double MA, the MA slope twice, the double MA, it's double MA, DOUBLE, and W, like the letter A, and the EMA. Get rid of those first and close. Is that what? I don't even know what the words are. And close it out, and then open it up again. It's where it says, okay. So you delete the ones you're not going to use, then push OK. That cleans them out, and then add the ones you want.
Okay.
I find that much cleaner and less hassles.
Sounds good.
All right. Anybody else? All right. Oh, I thought somebody's typing. Typing for you. All right. They're saying goodbye to me. I guess that's it.
Bob, nice job, man. Really helped out and cleared up a lot of things.
Well, good.
Appreciate it.
Yep, I'm going to record. This has been recorded. We'll put it on, and like I said in the beginning, new people.
Will it be on Skype?
Yeah, I can put the thing to Skype.
That'd be great. Thanks.
Yep. All right. Well, it's good. It's only as good as you guys make it. If you tell me you're all winners or increasing your win rate and gaining more trades and more consistent, then it's all worthwhile. Okay. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Bob. No, thank you for all coming. All right, guys, I'm going to close it out. No more questions. Stop recording.